Joined by Coach Terry Evans. And Coach, congratulations. Kind of mentioned a little bit up front here, but what is it about Southwestern? What is it about this job that made you want to be here and take over this program?
Well, one is the family atmosphere, like Coach Thurman talked about. Tight knit community. Everybody's pulling the same direction. I think we have some of the best facilities in Division II, and the opportunity is just amazing. Our location is great. Everything about this place so far I've just been really, really impressed with, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity.
Got the chance to talk to the team Monday. What was the discussion like? What did you learn about those guys?
Just kind of feeling them out. I let them talk. I let them talk definitely, but I talked about caring. I told them how much I care, and I kind of want to get that same commitment from them. We talked about working hard. Hard work and discipline is going to be the foundation of our program on a daily basis. So we talked about doing things right in the classroom, getting in the weight room, getting back in the gym, just doing things right, and kind of trying to focus on two things, with that being school and ball.
As you look back at what this team did this last season, a lot of close games, seemed like they were right there on the edge on some of these. Is that something you look at and say, maybe it's not as far off as it would appear on the surface with that record anyway?
Yeah, I kind of talked to them about that, and at the same time I told them, I haven't had a whole lot of film opportunity to look at them, and nor do I really want to. I don't want to form a negative opinion, because when you lose a lot of games, that's going to ultimately pop in your mind. But they did lose a lot of close games from what I noticed, and they felt like they had an opportunity in every single game except for probably 3 or 4 of them, and that's a good feeling. That's a good start, is that they never quit. You have a season like that, you can easy to quit. So that tells me a lot about the guys we have returning, is that they're still enthusiastic and they're still looking forward to the opportunity of maybe something a little new.
As you look to supplement what you have and what you can bring back, do you look at the junior college ranks? Is it high school? Is it a mixture? How do you go early here in getting this going?
Well, I've gotten a lot of interest so far, a lot of calls. I've gotten calls from Division I coaches, high school coaches, JUCO coaches, and they've all got a player. So so that's a good thing. And I just was able to pass the recruiting test yesterday, so now I can get going and get rolling and talk to some kids and set up some visits and get some people signed. We're going to bring in probably 5 or 6 guys to go with these guys that we return, and I think that's going to be a good mix. I think we need some older guys and some young guys. I think we need a good mix of maybe some transfers and some high school kids to kind of go with what we have returning.
No, it's a little bit further down the road, but once you get that program established and rolling, do you look more high school at that point, or do you like to bring in some transfers?
Yeah, we do, especially with some of the rule changes in Division II. I think that was kind of the shift for a lot of schools, laying off of some of the JUCOs, and I think anybody's going to take really good D1 transfers. But ultimately, we want to get good players. Don't really care what grade they have. It's better for player development and for people that care when they're here longer. So I think high school kids will also always be attractive to us.
I know you talk about that hard work, defense being a key, and protecting the basketball. What kind of style do you expect to play? Does it just kind of depend on the guys you have, or do you have something in mind that you want to see?
It kind of depends. I've always adjusted my defense. Now, offensively, we want to play a certain way. We want to get up and down the floor. I've always averaged more than 80 points a game, so we want to play up-tempo basketball. Now, defensively, we want to slow the other team down some, and if we can slow them down in full court man or half court man, or whether it's a 3-quarter zone trap or a zone, I'm going to do what it takes to win. One of my favorite coaches is Coach K at Duke, and he's not known as just strictly man. He'll play zone in a minute if he can win. Some coaches just play strictly zone, like Coach Boeheim at Syracuse, and we run some of that. And some coaches just play strictly man. They just don't believe in zone. I'm pretty versatile when it comes to defense. I just want to find a way to stop people and hold that team under 60. Gives us a chance to be successful.
As far as this school, you know it pretty well from being at UCO and being in the Lone Star together, and of course your relationship with Coach Thurman. Did this just seem like a fit when this all came up?
It really did. Very, very familiar with Southwestern. Very familiar with a lot of the people. I know a lot of the people from our old days in the Lone Star Conference came up here from 2003 all the way until when was the breakup? 2011 was our last year, because that's the year we won the last Lone Star Conference with Oklahoma schools in it. So that's a long time to build relationships where you're playing teams 2 and 3 times a year. And a lot of good friends from here have contacted me. My former coach at OU, Coach Boyd, is right over there, and so looking forward to it.
As you get set here, like we've talked about, this is an exciting time at Southwestern. As you're looking at recruits, what about a staff? Have you thought about that at all, or how's that looking?
Yeah, the former assistant Keith Richardson, we've had conversations, and he's done a great job of just kind of bridging the gap, while I'm finishing up at Edmond North and making the transition here. He's done a wonderful job, and he would definitely be considered. One of my best friends and former assistants, Rodney Dendy, has also had some interest, but he's in a really, really good spot in Norman High School and got that thing turned around and probably making a little more money than I can offer him here. But I've had conversations with 3 or 4 guys about the position, and we'll make a decision probably here after spring break.
And even as far as scheduling, kind of finally, how do you look at that non-conference in particular? It's kind of different than maybe building a program than when you're established, but how do you approach that?
Yeah, I've always believed in playing mainly D2 games, but the schedule is pretty much given to me. They've already scheduled, you get 22 conference games. I've already scheduled 2 D2 teams. Just scheduled another one today, so I think I only have 1 game left. I don't think we're in an exempt tournament this year, but we start a 4-year deal starting the following season, so it's kind of hard to find just a 1-year exemption tournament, but I am looking for something like that. So just looking at the schedule right now, it looks like we have all D2 games with 1 opening. So that 1 opening can be, if I can find the worst team in basketball, I'm going to try to find them to come here. But it just doesn't always work like that. Sometimes you just have to schedule where you can schedule and when you can schedule, especially when it's done this late.
Coach, congratulations. Looking forward to working with you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for having me, okay?